You won't believe what just leaked from behind the walls of Windsor. Forget the 2020 Megxit drama, because what is happening right now is far more brutal. An official announcement surfaced at 7:46 a.m., quietly reshaping the line of succession. Forever, Archie and Lilibet had been officially placed under royal guardianship. And guess who the new guardian is? It's not Meghan, it's Princess Catherine. Why would the palace do something so drastic? It all started in Dubai. Meghan Markle appeared at a women's empowerment forum, looking stunning but acting highly provocative. In the eyes of the royal family, she wore diamond earrings belonging to the late Queen Elizabeth II and visualized her children as the faces of global youth leadership to the palace. This wasn't just mother-child branding, it was the exploitation of royal symbols for private business interests. This is where Prince William entered the battlefield. While King Charles chose to keep his distance to avoid the appearance of a power grab, it was William who led this operation from start to finish. William's team tried to reach Harry through private, diplomatic, and even legal channels. But Harry, he was reportedly isolating in Las Vegas, appearing deeply fatigued and offering no response at all. Harry's silence became the palace's ultimate weapon to prove he was no longer in a stable condition to provide care, with no response from the Sussex side. The palace dropped a legal nuclear bomb, the Heritage Sovereignty Clause. This is an ancient rule from 1937 that has remained virtually untouched for decades. This clause grants the monarchy the right to take over the guardianship of children in the line of succession if their parents are deemed to be jeopardizing the institution's reputation. And boom, as of now, Catherine officially controls Archie and Lilibet's schooling, healthcare, and even their travel permissions. It wasn't without cause. William's audit team found a staggering paper trail. Between 2025 and 2026, over £1 million flowed into media strategies centered around the children. Documents were found referring to them as California royals, treating their childhood as a storyline for streaming series. William reportedly halted the meeting the moment he saw those documents, stating, "The monarchy is not an investor in a media brand." Now, Catherine has already assembled her own advisory team. The rules are ironclad. No exploitation of Archie and Lilibet's names, photos, or voices for any commercial purpose. No films, no podcasts, no books. The palace has even set up a £12 million trust fund from the king's private wealth, not taxpayer money, to ensure these children live far away from camera lenses and commercial contracts. But the plot thickens. Rumors from inside the palace suggest that Meghan isn't going down without a fight. Sources claim a counter-strike legal filing is being prepared in California, arguing that the Heritage Sovereignty Clause has zero power on American soil. It's a total jurisdictional nightmare. While the UK courts are sealing the files, the US courts are being flooded with claims of institutional cruelty. The battle lines aren't just drawn between families, they are drawn between two different legal worlds. And what about Harry? The whispers are getting louder. Insiders say he's caught in a no-man's land. He's reportedly reached out to his old military buddies, looking for a way to return to the UK discreetly. But the Heritage Clause makes his return complicated. If he comes back, does he come back as a father or a subject of the crown? The tension is so thick you could cut it with a ceremonial sword. It's not just William and Kate either. This is an all-hands-on-deck operation. Duchess Sophie is reportedly overseeing the day-to-day emotional recovery plan for the children, while Lady Louise is being prepped as a mentor for their cultural upbringing. It's a total royal re-education strategy. They aren't just moving the children. They are trying to erase the California royal brand and replace it with traditional Windsor values. The most chilling part, the financial lockdown, that £12 million trust fund we mentioned, it comes with strings, massive ones. Any media deal Meghan tries to sign involving the children's likeness could trigger an immediate FR. Ease on these assets. The palace has effectively built a financial cage. They are daring the Sussexes to choose between a Hollywood paycheck and the children's royal future, and the final touch of drama. King Charles has reportedly written personal letters to Archie and Lilibet to be opened only on their 18th birthdays. No one knows what's inside, but the rumor is they contain a path back to the family or a final goodbye to their titles. The king is playing the long game. While the rest of the world watches the immediate explosion, the pressure is mounting, and the fallout is reaching a fever pitch. We've just received reports that the sealed file, the 47-page dossier submitted to the High Court, contains more than just financial records. It includes a psychological assessment of the children conducted during a brief visit to Canada. The report allegedly uses words like emotional instability and carefully curated public personas. The palace isn't just arguing about money anymore. They are arguing that the children's mental health is at stake due to the constant branding they've endured. Meanwhile, in California, the counteroffensive is getting ugly. Rumors are swirling that Meghan's legal team is ready to leak private correspondence that could paint the monarchy in a very different light. We're talking about messages that allegedly show the coldness of the institution during Harry's most vulnerable moments. It's a game of chicken. Who will blink first? The palace with its heritage clause, or the Sussexes with their truth bombs? And here is the most heartbreaking twist. Sources claim Harry made a desperate, middle-of-the-night phone call to King Charles, not as a prince, but as a son begging for a compromise. But the response, it was routed through Pangeran Williams' office. The firm is now a united front, and the message is clear. Personal feelings no longer matter when the stability of the crown is on the line. Harry is reportedly distraught, realizing that for the first time in his life, his royal status is being used against him to take away the one thing he has left his children. The world is now split down the middle. One side sees Catherine as a savior stepping in to provide the stability these children desperately need. The other side sees this as a vindictive heist by a centuries-old institution to punish a mother for speaking her truth. As the legal teams in London and Los Angeles sharpen their knives for a cross-continental courtroom clash, one thing is certain: Archie and Lilibet are now the most protected and the most contested minors on the place. But wait, there's a detail everyone missed. Deep within that 47-page dossier is a section titled The Digital Footprint. Palace auditors didn't just look at bank accounts. They tracked every single time the children's names were used in metadata for upcoming lifestyle projects. They found that a California royal trademark was being prepped for everything from organic baby food to luxury loungewear. William's reaction: he reportedly told his advisors, "My mother's name was used by the press, but I will not allow my niece and nephew to be used by their own parents as a corporate launchpad." The silence from Harry is now officially deafening. While Meghan's legal team is firing off statements in California, Harry has gone completely off the grid. Sources say he's no longer staying at the Montecito mansion. Instead, he's been spotted at a private ranch, disconnected from his phone, and allegedly broken. The rumors are swirling. Is Harry choosing his family's legacy over his wife's ambition? Or is he simply too exhausted to fight a war where his brother holds all the high ground? The clock is ticking toward a final determination. In London, the High Court has already moved the case to a sealed chamber, meaning the public might never see the final ruling. But in the US, a celebrity judge is being lobbied to take the case public. It's a race against time. If the UK court finalizes the guardianship before the US court can intervene, Meghan could find herself in a position where she can't even take her children out of the country without Catherine's written permission. And here's the most chilling whisper from the hallways of Buckingham Palace: the heritage sovereignty clause isn't just about Archie and Lilibet. Some are saying this is a test run. If this works, the palace will have a blueprint to handle any future royal who decides to go rogue. They aren't just protecting two children. They are installing a permanent kill switch for anyone who tries to sell the crown to Hollywood. The stakes have never been higher, and the gloves, they aren't just off, they've been burned. Behind the scenes, the true architect of this legal iron curtain is being revealed: Princess Anne. known as the no-nonsense pillar of the family. She reportedly directed a secret team to document every single breach of royal protocol for over 18 months. This wasn't a sudden move, it was a surgical strike. And mantra throughout the process, children are not props for personal recovery. Her involvement adds a layer of steel to the case that makes it almost impossible to dismiss as a mere sibling rivalry. While the media focuses on the drama, the Windsor Child Continuity Trust has officially gone live. It's a financial fortress. Every pound spent on Archie and Lilibet is now monitored by a board of trustees, including Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. The trust doesn't just pay for school. It pays for neutralization teams, lawyers whose only job is to scour the internet and take down any unauthorized commercial use of the children's images. The message to Hollywood is clear. If you try to profit off these kids, you'll be fighting the deepest pockets in the UK. But here is the most human part of this cold-blooded strategy. Despite the legal war, Catherine has reportedly reached out to Harry's old nanny and several of his most trusted UK-based friends. Why? She's building a bridge of familiarity. She wants to ensure that when the children are brought back into the fold, they aren't surrounded by strangers, but by people who truly loved Harry before the fallout. It's a strategic move, yes, but some say it's the only piece of heart left in this entire operation. The contrast couldn't be more jarring. On one side of the ocean, a mother is fighting for her right to tell her story with her children. By her side, on the other, a 1,000-year-old institution is pulling two young heirs back into the shadows of tradition to save them, as the legal filings in California reach a boiling point. Rumors are circulating that a global gag order is the palace's next move. If they can't win the hearts and minds of the American public, they will simply silence the narrative entirely. The plot takes a turn into Diana's own bloodline. Rumors are swirling that Earl Spencer, Diana's brother, is quietly devastated by the activation of the Heritage Clause. Insiders claim he sees history repeating itself, an institution overstepping to control the lives of Diana's grandchildren. While Earl Spencer has publicly praised Harry's guts in his legal battles behind the scenes, he is reportedly in constant contact with the Sussexes, offering Althorpe as a sovereign sanctuary for the children if they ever need a place far from the reach of the Windsor legal machine. But here is the twist that is dividing the Spencer clan. While Earl Spencer leans toward Harry, Diana's nieces Lady Kitty, Eliza, and Amelia Spencer have been spotted more frequently at royal events supporting Pangeran William. They've been seen attending the Centrepoint and Tusk Awards, making it very clear which brother they are aligned with. The Spencer family is now a mirror of the royal feud, a house divided between those who prioritize the blood family and those who stand by the institutional future. There's even a whisper about a secret title clause hidden in the heritage paperwork. Rumor has it that if Archie and Lilibet are raised under Catherine's guardianship in the UK, they will be granted Prince and Princess styles with full active HRH status. But if Meghan succeeds in keeping them in California, those titles could be put into permanent abeyance as soon as they turn 18. The palace is reportedly using the children's very identities as a bargaining chip. Remain a Windsor and keep your crown, or stay as Sussex and lose it forever. As we move toward a cross-continental legal showdown, the question on everyone's lips is, what would Diana think? One side argues she would be proud of Harry's fight for independence. The other insists she would be horrified that her grandchildren are being used as pawns in a media war. With the High Court in London and the California courts now locked in a jurisdictional battle that could take years to resolve, the only thing we know for sure is that the quiet life Archie and Lilibet were promised in Montecito is officially a thing of the past. You think the drama is over? Think again. Just minutes ago, a red alert report surfaced from London. It appears the palace didn't just activate the Heritage Sovereignty Clause for control, they did it as a response to a rumored Sussex settlement document that went horribly wrong. Word on the street is that Meghan was preparing to launch her own lifestyle empire as ever, but the business contracts allegedly listed the children as co-founders. William's legal team reportedly saw this as the ultimate line cross, turning royal heirs into corporate shareholders before they can even tie their own shoelaces. And the news for Harry is getting even darker. While 2026 was supposed to be the year of reconciliation, it has turned into a year of total isolation. Reports are coming in that Harry is absolutely devastated because he's been blocked from his own security files. He can't even arrange a private visit to see his father, King Charles, without the meeting being monitored by palace officials. He's reportedly told friends he feels like he's in a gilded cage without the keys. But don't count Meghan out yet. Instead of a tell-all memoir which she says she's not ready for, rumors are flying that she's pivoted to a lifestyle manifesto. Insiders say it's filled with coded messages about her time in the UK. She's allegedly using recipes and home tips to tell her side of the story without breaking any NDA letters. It's the art of war, but with cookbook recipes. The palace is reportedly terrified that she'll use her Sundance appearances to drop truth bombs that a legal clause simply can't stop. The end game is here, and it's a battle for the soul of the next generation. Catherine is reportedly already moving Archie and Lilibet's names onto the royal education roster for 2027. She's not just playing the role of a guardian. She's preparing them for a life they were never supposed to have. Meanwhile, in Montecito, the silence is being replaced by the sound of lawyers sharpening their pens. This isn't just about custody, it's about whether the California royals will ever exist again, or if the Windsor Iron Curtain has officially closed for good. The whispers have finally reached the upper echelons of the British press. While the world thinks the heritage clause is just about custody, insiders are buzzing about a global silence order. Rumor has it that if Meghan moves forward with her rumored lifestyle manifesto, the palace is prepared to trigger a financial dead switch. We're talking about a complete freeze on any UK-based assets or royal allowances that might still be trickling through. The message: you can have your Hollywood empire, but you won't have the Windsor stamp of approval to sell it. The most shocking rumor of all, a secret meeting allegedly took place at Sandringham between William and a top-tier U.S. constitutional lawyer. Why? Because the palace knows the heritage sovereignty clause is a legal gray area in America. They are reportedly looking for a backdoor agreement. Harry and Meghan keep their lives in California, but the children are enrolled in a special diplomatic program that brings them to the UK for 3 months every year under Catherine's direct supervision. It's not just a custody battle, it's a transatlantic partition. And the Hollywood elite, they are reportedly running for the hills. Rumor has it that several major list stars who were once Team Sussex are quietly distancing themselves. The Windsor lockdown has made Archie and Lilibet's brand too hot to handle. Agencies are allegedly advising their clients to stay neutral because, in 2026, being on the wrong side of the future king and queen could mean a permanent X on the guest list for the most exclusive global events. But here is the final, jaw-dropping piece of gossip. There is a whisper that Meghan has a vault of her own, a collection of video diaries from her time as a working royal, allegedly kept in a secure digital cloud. If the palace pushes the heritage clause to the final court date, she might just hit upload. This is no longer a family disagreement. It's a digital Cold War. As Catherine settles into her role as the guardian of the future, and Meghan prepares her manifesto of the present, the world is holding its breath. The next move won't be made in a courtroom, it'll be made on a server. While these dramatic narratives are based on swirling rumors and the intense dynamics of the royal family, many elements like this specific heritage sovereignty clause used to strip custody are part of a speculative storytelling style often seen in YouTube imperial headlines content and should be viewed as dramatic entertainment rather than verified constitutional fact. That the world is bracing for what insiders are calling the Great Royal Recalibration. Rumors have hit an all-time high that the legal teams in London are no longer just looking at custody, they are looking at the very definition of royal protection, while the public debate rages on. A new whisper has emerged from the halls of the Home Office. It's about the security review that has been Harry's biggest hurdle for years. Rumor has it that the UK government might finally offer Harry the protection he's been begging for, but it comes with a golden handcuff clause. The security is only guaranteed if the children are residing on UK soil under the supervision of the Crown. In California, the tension is reportedly at a breaking point. Sources close to the Sussexes claim that Meghan has been spotted in emergency strategy sessions with top-tier PR gurus and legal heavyweight. Gets the rumor she's preparing a documentary. Counter-Strike, forget the interviews. We're talking about raw, unedited footage that allegedly captures the true cost of the heritage clause on her family. It's being described as a nuclear option intended to turn global public opinion so fiercely against the palace that the heritage clause becomes a political liability for King Charles himself. But perhaps the most chilling detail is the rumored Sandringham Protocol. Insiders say that Prince William has already designated a specific cottage on the Sandringham estate as the transition house for Archie and Lilibet. It's being fitted with the latest privacy tech and staffed by a hand-picked team of educators and therapists who report directly to Catherine. The plan isn't just to bring them back, it's to reacclimatize them to a life of duty and discretion. Rumor has it the children's American toys and gadgets are being replaced with traditional British pastimes to bridge the cultural gap. As we move into the final weeks before the rumored sealed court date, the stakes are no longer just about two children. They are about the survival of a 1,000-year-old brand versus a modern media empire. The palace is betting on tradition, law, and the heritage clause. The Sussexes are betting on the power of the narrative and the court of public opinion. With Harry reportedly caught in the middle, torn between his wife's ambition and his brother's ironclad protection, the question isn't who will win the case. The question is, what will be left of the family when the dust finally settles? The narrative has reached a point of no return. Rumors are exploding that the heritage clause isn't just a legal maneuver, it's a physical reality. Insiders claim that a secret safe passage protocol has been drafted. If the California courts even hint at a ruling that favors a media deal over royal stability, the UK government is reportedly prepared to revoke the diplomatic status of the Sussexes' travel documents. It's a total lockdown. Meghan is reportedly calling it institutional kidnapping, while the palace maintains its sovereign safeguarding. And here is the heart-wrenching part of the gossip. While Meghan fights in the US, Catherine has reportedly already begun a cultural immersion program for the kids remotely. Whispers say that books, toys, and even digital lessons curated by the Princess of Wales are being sent to Montecito under the guise of gifts. But the legal reality? They are part of a documented attempt to prove that the children are already being integrated into British life. Catherine is reportedly keeping a daily journal of these interactions to present to the High Court as evidence of her active guardianship. But wait, there's a leak from the Archewell camp that could change everything. Rumor has it that Meghan has a final trump card. It's not a book, and it's not an interview. It's an unreleased recording from the Sandringham summit years ago. Sources claim the audio captures a high-ranking royal. Some say it's William himself admitting that the children were always meant to be leveraged to keep Harry in line. If this audio hits the public, the heritage clause could crumble under the weight of a global scandal. It's a game of mutually assured destruction. The endgame is no longer about who is right, it's about who is left standing. As the sealed court date in London approaches, the world is watching a tragedy of Shakespearean proportions. Is Catherine the savior of the next generation? Or is she the face of a cold, calculated takeover? Is Meghan a mother fighting for her children's freedom, or an entrepreneur protecting her brand? As the Windsor Child Continuity Trust moves into its final phase of funding, the line between protection and possession has completely vanished. The crown is heavy, but the cost of wearing it has never been higher. The tension has officially gone off the charts. While Prince William is thousands of miles away on a high-stakes diplomatic visit to Saudi Arabia, rumors are exploding that Harry has landed in London for a secret High Court showdown. But here is the real shocker. Insiders claim he didn't come alone. Whispers from the Home Office suggest that Harry's security team was granted a temporary high-threat clearance, fueling speculation that Archie and Lilibet might actually be on UK soil for the first time in years. Is this a surrender or a tactical move to preempt the heritage clause? William isn't just focused on diplomacy. He's reportedly monitoring every move from Riyadh. Rumor has it he's issued a zero proximity order. If Harry tries to use his visit to rebrand the children's image in London, William is allegedly prepared to finalize the guardianship papers before he even touches back down at Heathrow. It's a race against time, and the Sandringham Protocol, the plan to reacclimatize the children to royal life, is reportedly being moved from contingency to active. Meanwhile, Meghan is reportedly preparing her own counterblitz for the upcoming awards season. Sources say she is planning a cookie Queen's documentary debut that isn't just about business, it's about her side of the motherhood story. But the palace is one step ahead. Rumors say the Windsor Child Continuity Trust has already sent formal warnings to major streaming platforms. Any footage involving the children's royal heritage could trigger an immediate multi-million-pound lawsuit. The California royal brand is being strangled in its sleep. And the final, most terrifying piece of gossip, a leak from within a leak. Someone close to the Spencer family claims that the rumored Sandringham tape, the unreleased recording Meghan allegedly holds, has a kill switch of its own if it's released. The palace is reportedly ready to strip the Sussexes of their titles entirely, not just the children's custody. It's a total sovereign reset, as Catherine quietly prepares to welcome two new lives into her care. The world is realizing that 2026 isn't just a year of change, it's the year the monarchy decided that to save the future, they had to burn the bridge to the past. The games have officially begun. While the world was distracted by the desert landscapes of Saudi Arabia, Prince Harry made a thunderous return to London. But this isn't just a social call or a quick tea with the king. He's back in the High Court, and the stakes are personal. Rumor has it that while he's officially there for his privacy case against the tabloids, the real battle is happening in the judge's private chambers. Insiders say Harry's lawyers have filed a motion of sovereignty challenge directly targeting the heritage clause. Harry is reportedly ready to testify that the clause is being used not for protection, but as a political muzzle to keep him from ever speaking out again. The divide couldn't be more cinematic. William is in Riyadh, meeting with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, solidifying billion-pound trade deals and proving his stature as a global statesman. But back at home, Catherine is the one holding the fort and the files. Rumors are swirling that she has been granted acting sovereign authority over all matters involving the Sussex children, while William is abroad. Whispers from Kensington Palace suggest she has already reviewed Archie's new curriculum for a top-tier UK prep school. The message is clear. While the men talk politics and trade, the princess is quietly executing the reacclimatization of the next generation. But here is the twist that's shaking the Spencer family. Rumor has it that Princess and the royal family's moral guardian has been acting as a secret backchannel. Sources claim she sent a coded message to Harry just before he landed in London, warning him that the institution doesn't forget, but it can forgive at a price. The price: a total media blackout for Meghan's upcoming projects in exchange for a shared guardianship model, but with Meghan reportedly planning her own counterblitz during awards season. The peace talks are on a knife's edge, and the final piece of the puzzle, Prince Andrew has officially moved out of Royal Lodge and into Wood Farm on the Sandringham estate. Why does this matter? Because Wood Farm is where the family goes when they need to be managed. Rumors are circulating that the palace is preparing a similar sanctuary for Harry, a way to bring him back into the fold, away from the California cameras, but under the permanent watchful eye of the crown. As Harry prepares to take the stand, the question remains, will he fight for his independence in the US, or will he accept the gilded handcuffs to be near his children and his heritage once more? The atmosphere in London has reached a breaking point. While the world thinks Harry is only here to fight the tabloids, the rumors coming out of the courtroom's private chambers tell a much more dangerous story. Harry reportedly sat in the witness box, eyes shimmering with tears, as he accused the press of driving him to drugs and drink. But during the closed session breaks, whispers say his legal team, led by David Sherburne, was seen in heated discussions with royal liaisons, the gossip. Harry has allegedly filed a secret sovereignty challenge, claiming that his personal security and his children's freedom are being used as emotional leverage by the very institution he was born into. In California, Meghan is reportedly not staying quiet. Sources claim she is incensed by the palace's latest moves. Rumor has it that she has authorized her team to prepare a master dossier collection of every private text and email from the Fab for era to be released if Harry is strong-armed in London. But here's the kicker. The Hollywood elite are reportedly starting to choose sides. Whispers from Montecito suggest that several A-list neighbors have quietly declined invitations to recent Sussex gatherings, fearing that getting caught in the Windsor crossfire is bad for business. Meghan's lifestyle manifesto is reportedly being delayed as she pivots to crisis mode. And here is the final, most chilling rumor of the day. A leaked flight manifesto shows a private charter scheduled for later this week, flying from Santa Barbara directly to a private RAF base in the passenger list. Classified, some say it's Meghan bringing the children for a last-ditch peace talk. Others say it's a tactical move by the palace to bring the kids into the UK jurisdiction before the California court can intervene, as Catherine prepares her final report for the High Court and Harry prepares for another day in the witness box. The Windsor Iron Curtain is about to drop. One thing is certain, by the end of this week, the lives of Archie and Lilibet will have changed forever. The plot hasn't just thickened, it's practically solidified into a block of ice. We are now in February 2026, and the London siege is in full swing. While Penguin William was busy touring the ancient ruins of Al-Lula in Saudi Arabia looking every bit the global statesman, Prince Harry was back in Court 76 of the High Court. And let me tell you, the gloves aren't just off. They've been incinerated. Harry sat in that witness box for hours, and the rumors from the gallery are chilling. He's not just fighting the tabloids anymore. He's reportedly using this trial as a platform to expose what he calls institutional betrayal. While Harry is in court, the king is trying to maintain a business-as-usual facade. But behind that smile at the Windsor reception, the whispers are deafening. The Prince Andrew deception has just blown up again. Rumors are swirling that Andrew misled the family about his ability to repay millions in legal settlements, leaving the Crown's private coffers in a mess. This is why the heritage clause is so vital. The palace cannot afford another financial scandal. They are reportedly using the children's guardianship as a way to clean up the royal brand before William takes the throne. Back in Montecito, Meghan Markle is reportedly in full combat mode. Rumor has it she's refusing to play nice with Queen Camilla, whom she allegedly calls the family's attack dog. Meghan's latest as ever brand posts for Valentine's Day were met with a wave of criticism, and the gossip is that she's incensed by the palace's attempts to frame her as unrelatable. Sources say she is preparing a counter-strike that could involve a motherhood manifesto film directly challenging Catherine's role as the guardian of stability. The contrast is staggering. William is in Saudi Arabia, playing esports and training with girls' football team, solidifying the UK's future alliances. But in London, Harry is plotting a half-in, half-out lifestyle, desperate for Archie and Lilibet to build relationships with their British cousins. The rumor, Harry has offered a secret truce to the king. He'll drop the privacy lawsuits if the king ensures Archie and Lilibet get full HRH status and UK security. But with William holding the heritage clause keys, Harry might be walking into a trap where the only way to get security is to hand over guardianship to Catherine. And here is the most red-hot rumor of the hour. A leaked memo from the Home Office suggests that the Ravik Committee is reassessing Harry's security right now. If it gets reverted to pre-Megxit levels, Archie and Lilibet could be back in the UK by summer. But insiders warn, this isn't a victory for Harry. It's a gilded cage maneuver. Once they step onto UK soil, the heritage clause becomes active, and Catherine's role as their legal guardian becomes legally enforceable in British courts. Is Harry bringing his children home for a reunion? Or is he unknowingly delivering them into the very institution he fought so hard to escape? The plot hasn't just thickened, it's practically solidified into a block of ice. We are now in February 2026, and the London siege is in full swing. While Prince William was busy touring the ancient ruins of Al-Ula in Saudi Arabia looking every bit the global statesman, Prince Harry was back in Court 76 of the High Court. The gloves aren't just off, they've been incinerated. Harry sat in that witness box for hours, and the rumors from the gallery are chilling. He's not just fighting the tabloids anymore. He's reportedly using this trial as a platform to expose what he calls institutional betrayal. While Harry is in court, the king is trying to maintain a business as usual facade. But behind that smile, the whispers are deafening. The Prince Andrew crisis has flared up again, and rumors are swirling that the Crown's private coffers are under intense pressure. This is why the heritage clause is so vital. The palace cannot afford another scandal that looks like a lack of control. They are reportedly using the children's guardianship as a way to clean up the royal brand before William takes the throne. Back in Montecito, Meghan Markle is reportedly in full combat mode. Her brand American Riviera Orchard has been officially renamed to as Ever, but the launch has been anything but smooth. Rumor has it she's facing plagiarism accusations over the name and logo. And she's incensed by the palace's attempts to frame her lifestyle as inappropriate for royal children. Sources say she's preparing a counterstrike that could involve a motherhood manifesto film directly challenging Catherine's role as the guardian of stability. The contrast is staggering. William is in Saudi Arabia at the request of the UK government, navigating a delicate diplomatic balance between human rights and trade deals worth billions. But in London, Harry is reportedly holding out hope that he can divide his time between California and the UK. The rumor: Harry has offered a secret truce to the king. He'll drop his privacy lawsuits if the king ensures Archie and Lilibet get full security. But with William holding the heritage clause keys, Harry might be walking into a trap where the only way to get that security is to hand over guardianship to Catherine. And here is the most red-hot rumor of the hour. A new security review by the Ravik Committee has been launched after a near miss with a stalker in California. If Harry's security gets restored to top levels, he could bring the children to the UK as soon as this summer. But insiders warn, this isn't a victory for Harry. It's a gilded cage maneuver. Once Archie and Lilibet step onto UK soil, the heritage clause becomes legally enforceable in British courts. Is Harry bringing his children home for a reunion? Or is he unknowingly delivering them into the very institution he fought so hard to escape? The plot has moved from the courtroom to the shadows of the palace. Rumor has it that during a brief break in his High Court testimony, Prince Harry was seen slipping into a private side room. Who was waiting there? Whispers say it was Princess and the family's enforcer. The gossip is that and delivered a direct ultimatum. The heritage clause isn't a threat, it's an invitation. If Harry stops his war on the press and Meghan pauses her as Ever brand launch, the palace might allow the children to keep their HRH titles. But if the legal battles continue, Catherine's guardianship becomes absolute. Back in California, Meghan is reportedly livid. Her brand, as Ever, is already facing a plagiarism storm over its logo, with a Spanish town claiming it's a direct copy of their coat of arms. But that's the least of her worries. Rumors are swirling that she is preparing a US-based countersuit claiming that the UK's heritage clause violates international human rights. She's allegedly reached out to high-profile American lawyers to argue that Catherine's guardianship has no legal standing on US soil. It's a total jurisdictional showdown. And here is the most red-hot update: the Ravik security review. is reportedly reaching its final stages. The rumor, Harry might get his taxpayer-funded security back, but only for specific diplomatic family events. This is being seen as a golden trap. If Harry brings Archie and Lilibet to the UK under this new security deal, they effectively enter the jurisdiction where Catherine's guardianship is already signed and sealed. Insiders say Harry is torn. He wants his family safe in the UK, but he knows that stepping off that plane might mean giving up his children's independence forever. The contrast is devastating. While William is in Saudi Arabia being treated as a global sovereign, Harry is battling for his reputation in a windowless courtroom. Whispers from the palace suggest that William has already signed off on a Sandringham re-education plan for the children. Rumor has it that if they arrive this summer, they won't be staying at Frogmore, they'll be at a secure cottage on the king's estate. Under the direct tutelage of Lady Louise and supervised by Catherine, the California royal dream is fading, replaced by the cold, hard reality of the Windsor legacy. The plot hasn't just thickened, it's practically solidified into a block of ice. We are now in February 2026, and the London siege is in full swing. While Prince William was busy touring the ancient ruins of Alula in Saudi Arabia looking every bit the global statesman, Prince Harry was back in Court 76 of the High Court. The gloves aren't just off, they've been incinerated. Harry sat in that witness box for hours, and the rumors from the gallery are chilling. He's not just fighting the tabloids anymore. He's reportedly using this trial as a platform to expose what he calls institutional betrayal. Asterisk, while Harry is in court, the king is trying to maintain a business as usual facade. But behind that smile, the whispers are deafening. The Prince Andrew crisis has flared up again, and rumors are swirling that the crown's private coffers are under intense pressure. This is why the heritage clause is so vital. The palace cannot afford another scandal that looks like a lack of control. They are reportedly using the children's guardianship as a way to clean up the royal brand before William takes the throne. Asterisk, back in Montecito, Meghan Markle is reportedly in full combat mode. Her brand American Riviera Orchard has been officially renamed to as Ever, but the launch has been anything but smooth. Rumor has it she's facing plagiarism accusations over the name and logo, and she's incensed by the palace's attempts to frame her lifestyle as inappropriate for royal children. Sources say she is preparing a counterstrike that could involve a motherhood manifesto film directly challenging Catherine's role as the guardian of stability. Asterisk, the contrast is staggering. William is in Saudi Arabia at the request of the UK government, navigating a delicate diplomatic balance between human rights and trade deals worth billions. But in London, Harry is reportedly holding out hope that he can divide his time between California and the UK. The rumor: Harry has offered a secret truce to the king. He'll drop his privacy lawsuits if the king ensures Archie and Lilibet get full security. But with William holding the heritage clause keys, Harry might be walking into a trap where the only way to get that security is to hand over guardianship to Catherine. Asterisk, and here is the most red-hot rumor of the hour. A new security review by the Ravik Committee has been launched after a near miss with a stalker in California. If Harry's security gets restored to top levels, he could bring the children to the UK as soon as this summer. But insiders warn, this isn't a victory for Harry. It's a gilded cage maneuver. Once Archie and Lilibet step onto UK soil, the heritage clause becomes legally enforceable in British courts. Is Harry bringing his children home for a reunion? Or is he unknowingly delivering them into the very institution he fought so hard to escape? Asterisk, the atmosphere in London has reached a fever pitch. While the world was watching Prince William's high-stakes diplomatic visit to Riyadh, where he's been busy navigating talks with the Saudi crown prince, Prince Harry was back in court. 76. The rumors from the gallery are chilling. Harry sat in that witness box for hours, and insiders claim he's no longer just fighting for privacy. He's reportedly using the trial to expose institutional betrayal claiming the palace has used his family's security as a bargaining chip to control his narrative, while the legal battle rages. The king is facing his own crisis. New revelations from the Epstein files have sent shockwaves through the palace, putting the Prince Andrew problem back in the spotlight. Rumor has it that this is exactly why the heritage clause was fast-tracked. The monarchy cannot afford any more loose ends. By placing Archie and Lilibet under royal guardianship, the palace is reportedly creating a legal firewall, ensuring the next generation is insulated from the financial and reputational fallout of the Sussex and Andrew scandals combined. In California, Meghan Markle's brand relaunch has hit a massive wall. Her new venture, as ever, is already embroiled in controversy. Not only is a New York clothing brand claiming they've owned the name since 2017, but a town in Spain is reportedly threatening legal action over her new logo, claiming it's a direct copy of their ancient coat of arms. The gossip: Meghan is incensed and suspects a palace-led sabotage of her trademarking process. Sources say she is preparing a US-based countersuit, arguing that British royal clauses have zero jurisdiction over her business or her children in an American court. And here is the most red-hot rumor of the hour. The Rovic Security Review is reaching its final decision. If Harry's armed protection is reinstated, he could bring the children to the UK as early as this summer. But insiders are calling it a golden trap. Once Archie and Lilibet step onto UK soil, the heritage clause becomes legally enforceable. Catherine would officially become their guardian under British law. And any attempt to take them back to California could be blocked by the state. Harry is reportedly torn, desperate for his children to know their heritage, but terrified that bringing them home means losing them to the crown forever. The tension has officially gone off the charts. While Prince William is thousands of miles away on a high-stakes diplomatic visit to Riyadh, looking every bit the global statesman as he navigates delicate talks with the Saudi crown prince. Prince Harry is back in Court 76 of the High Court, but this isn't just a social call. Rumors from the gallery are chilling. Harry sat in that witness box for hours, and insiders claim he's no longer just fighting the tabloids. He's reportedly using this trial to expose institutional betrayal, alleging the palace has used his family's security as a bargaining chip to keep him silent. While the legal battle rages in London, the king is facing his own storm. New revelations in the Epstein files regarding Andrew Mountbatten Windsor have sent shockwaves through the palace, overshadowing William's tour. Rumor has it this is exactly why the heritage clause was fast-tracked. The monarchy cannot afford any more loose ends. By placing Archie and Lilibet under royal guardianship now, the palace is reportedly creating a legal firewall, ensuring the next generation is insulated from the financial and reputational fallout of both the Sussex and Andrew scandals. In California, Meghan Markle's brand relaunch has hit a massive wall. Her new venture, as ever, is already embroiled in controversy. Not only is a New York-based clothing brand claiming they've owned the name since 2017, but the mayor of a Spanish town in Mallorca is reportedly threatening legal action over her logo, claiming it's a direct copy of their ancient coat of arms. The gossip: Meghan is incensed and suspects a palace-led sabotage of her trademarking process. Sources say she is preparing a US-based countersuit, arguing that British royal clauses have zero jurisdiction over her business or her children on American soil. And here is the most red-hot rumor of the hour. A secret meeting allegedly took place between Harry and Princess and during a court break. Whispers say it delivered a final ultimatum: if Harry stops his war on the press and Meghan pauses the as-ever expansion into the UK, the palace might allow the children to keep their HRH status. But if they proceed, Catherine's role as their legal guardian becomes absolute the moment they set foot in London, with a Rovic Security Review nearing its final decision. Harry is reportedly torn, desperate for his family's safety in the UK, but terrified that bringing them home means delivering them into a gilded cage forever. The tension has officially gone off the charts. While Prince William is thousands of miles away on a high-stakes diplomatic visit to Riyadh, looking every bit the global statesman as he navigates delicate talks with the Saudi crown prince. Prince Harry is back in Court 76 of the High Court, but this isn't just a social call. Rumors from the gallery are chilling. Harry sat in that witness box for hours, and insiders claim he's no longer just fighting for privacy against the Daily Mail. He's reportedly using this trial to expose institutional betrayal, alleging the palace used his family's security as a bargaining chip to keep him silent. While the legal battle rages in London, the king is facing his own storm. New revelations regarding the Epstein files and Andrew Mountbatten Windsor have sent shockwaves through the palace, overshadowing the diplomatic successes abroad. Rumor has it this is exactly why the heritage sovereignty clause often confused. With the legal royal lives clause has become the center of a viral firestorm. The monarchy cannot afford any more loose ends by positioning the children under theoretical royal guardianship. The palace is reportedly creating a legal firewall to ensure the next generation is insulated from the reputational fallout of both the Sussex and Andrew scandals. In California, Meghan Markle's brand relaunch has hit a massive wall. Her new venture, as ever, is already embroiled in controversy. Not only has the USPTO partially rejected her application for clothing due to a Chinese brand named Decisive, but the mayor of a Spanish town in Mallorca is reportedly threatening legal action over her logo, claiming it's a direct copy of their ancient coat of arms, the gossip. Meghan is incensed and suspects a palace-led sabotage of her trademarking process. Sources say she is preparing a US-based countersuit, arguing that British royal customs have zero jurisdiction over her business or her children on American soil. And here is the most red-hot rumor of the hour. A secret meeting allegedly took place between Harry and Princess and during a court break. Whispers say it delivered a final ultimatum. If Harry stops his war on the press and Meghan pauses the as-ever expansion into the UK, the palace might allow a security compromise. But with the Rovik security review nearing its final, high-stakes decision, Harry is reportedly torn. He is desperate for his family's safety in the UK, but terrified that bringing them home means delivering them into a gilded cage where Catherine's influence back ohms legally enforceable. The atmosphere in London has reached a fever pitch. While the world was watching Prince William's high-stakes diplomatic visit to Riyadh, where he's been navigating delicate trade talks with the Saudi crown prince, Prince Harry was back in the witness box. This trial against Associated Newspapers is projected to cost a staggering £38 million, and the rumors from the gallery are chilling. Harry reportedly looked the judge in the eye and spoke of institutional betrayal, claiming the palace has used his family's security as a bargaining chip to control his narrative. While the legal battle rages, the king is facing a domestic storm. New revelations from the Epstein files released by the U.S. Justice Department have put his brother, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, back in the crosshairs of a criminal assessment. Rumor has it this is exactly why the heritage sovereignty clause, often cited in viral royal commentary, has become such a flashpoint. The monarchy cannot afford any more loose ends by positioning the next generation under a theoretical royal guardianship. The palace is reportedly creating a legal firewall to insulate them from the reputational fallout of the Sussex Sandro era. In California, Meghan Markle's brand relaunch has hit a massive wall. Her new venture, as ever, is already embroiled in controversy. A mayor in the Spanish town of Porreras is publicly accusing her of plagiarizing their 600-year-old coat of arms for her logo. The gossip, Meghan is incensed and suspects a palace-led sabotage of her trademarking process, especially after the USPTO raised concerns about her name choice. Sources say she is preparing a US-based countersuit, arguing that British royal customs have zero jurisdiction over her business or her children in an American court. And here is the most red-hot update. The Rovik security review is nearing its final high-stakes decision. If Harry's armed protection is reinstated following a reported near miss with a stalker during a previous visit, he could bring the children to the UK as early as this summer. But insiders are calling it a golden trap. Once Archie and Lilibet step onto UK soil, any theoretical guardianship claims become legally enforceable under British law. Harry is reportedly torn, desperate for his family's safety, but terrified that bringing them home means delivering them into a gilded cage where the crown's influence is absolute. Asterisk, the royal divide has reached a geometric absolute. As of February 12, 2026, the contrast is staggering. Prince William is concluding a high-stakes visit to Saudi Arabia, where he's been hailed as a statesman of the future. But in London, the mood is much darker. Prince Harry has spent the last several days in Court 76, giving emotional testimony in the final chapter of his privacy war against Associated Newspapers. The legal fees are projected to exceed £38 million. And the rumors from the courtroom are explosive. Harry reportedly described his life as open season for commercialization and claimed the palace's refusal to support his security was a form of institutional negligence. While William builds bridges in the Middle East, the king is desperately trying to shore up the foundations at home. The Epstein files released in early 2026 have reignited the police review into Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and removals vans were recently spotted at Royal Lodge. Rumor has it that the Heritage Sovereignty Clause, the viral name for the Crown's emergency guardianship protocols, was invoked specifically to ensure that the Sussex children are legally firewalled from any criminal fallout involving their great-uncle. The palace is reportedly positioning Catherine as the guardian of the future to prove that the monarchy can protect its heirs even when its own members fall. In California, Meghan Markle's brand relaunch has hit what insiders call a catastrophic branding glitch. Her new venture, as ever, is facing a nightmare at the USPTO, where her trademark application for clothing was partially rejected due to a conflicting Chinese brand. To make matters worse, she is reportedly facing PR desertion after her 10th communications director in 5 years quit after only a few months. The gossip, Meghan is incensed and is reportedly preparing a US-based rights of the mother countersuit, arguing that a British sovereign clause cannot dictate the lives of American resident children. But here is the red-hot update that could change everything. Our EVEC, the Security Committee, has reportedly reversed its decision. Following a documented near miss with a stalker during his last London visit, Harry has allegedly won the right to automatic armed protection in the UK. This is the golden trap. Security is nailed on, but it comes with a catch. To use it, Harry must notify the Home Office 30 days in advance, effectively giving the palace a 30-day window to prepare the legal paperwork for the children's royal integration. Harry is reportedly torn. He can finally bring Archie and Lilibet home safely, but the moment they land, the Heritage Clause makes Catherine their legal protector under British law. So, is this the end of the Sussex's dream of independence in America? Or is it just the beginning of an intercontinental legal war unlike anything we've ever seen? One thing is certain. In 2026, the throne no longer waits, it acts. If Harry brings Archie and Lilibet home this summer to take advantage of their new security, he might find he can never take them back to California without the king's permission or the permission of Princess Catherine. What do you think? Is William's move a legitimate protection of the monarchy's future, or a cold tactic to separate a father from his children? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read them all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next update from Imperial Headlines.